I hope nobody is coming late. We've done all the role of business organization. Younger, this is the supply chain, right? You see, from the farm, you have the cows grazing. Look at how green they see how the grasses are green. Grasses, then you graze, then you milk it. Then the cow produces the milk before it gets to the bottle, then we get to the market or the shop or the tea shop to buy it. Did you see? Very lovely. When we are talking about the input, right? How you got transformed to have the product or service. The people raw material information and all this stuff, right? You must be singing with all this stuff. I want you to be singing. Yes. With it. Younger core activities in the supply chain, right? These are the core activities: purchasing, buy the raw materials or whatever the production. When you whatever you purchase, then you produce, you take it to the production unit, right? It has to be produced. Once it is produced, it gets to be distributed to where it is needed. Then you need to create awareness. You see, you get all this stuff. Right? Okay. Now look at it. The support activities. Did I switch on this thing? Oh, it's not complete. Yeah, because it's not plugged. It's looking for. You make me to be. Okay. Yeah. All right. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Then you see the sport activities, right? In the value chain, but it's gonna work. But the volume now there will be noises, right? Because that started recording. Then you see the support activities in the value chain, the procurement, where you need to place order for whatever you need. Then you buy your stuff, raw material, whatever, the technology, the HR, all these ones are what we call a support activity, right? You see? Then look at it. Key stakeholders. We've done this, right? The key stakeholders in the business. You have the customers, the employees, the government, the community, then the suppliers, right? Shareholders. Those ones that perhaps bought shares in the business, right? They invested their money in the business. So those ones are shareholders. You as one, you can perhaps aspire to be a shareholder, right? You buy shares. It doesn't really need you to have a lot of money. Even if it's 10K, you can buy a share in a company, you invest, right? You become a shareholder. Look at it, the business categories. Hey man, this thing is very aesthetic, man. I love it. Look at it. The primary, right? The industry, the secondary industry, the tertiary. What we say by the primary, something that has to do something with the earth, right? From the ground, take something from the ground. The secondary, that is where it's being produced. Then the tertiary, what do we say is the tertiary? Huh? Tertiary. An example of a business sector in the primary category, right? You see from the ground. Then an example of business sector in the secondary, right? Then, yeah, tertiary, as you said. Then you see the contribution in South Africa. So, what is the lion's share? Tertiary, right? That is the lion's share. You know what I mean by lion's share? They are the biggest. I told you when you go out, you use that vocab. I want you to speak. When you speak to other people, they say, ask us. You say, oh, I say, no, the major part. Yeah. You say, that is what I'm talking about. That is what I mean by lion share. Because when you are talking, you see, the language you use must be different from the taxi driver, right? When you talk, you're going to ask you, say what you say. Then they will respect you. Do you understand what I mean? If you talk like that, they won't respect you. They say we are all the same. Right. So this is how you can distinguish yourself. You speak, use language. Look at it. The contribution of the major business sector to South Africa GDP. I told you what is a GDP, right? The value of goods and services produced within a country at a specific period of time. That is GDP, right? Within South Africa. Look at South African GDP. Look at financial services. Carries the lion's share, 20.1%. I don't know how realistic this thing is, whether it's still like this, right? You see, the statistics, I don't know how realistic it is, but at least it can provide us an insight. Look at manufacturing, 19.5. We are so much heavily rely on manufacturing, which is not a good news for. Okay, it's good, manufacturing. Then government services, you have that. You have what you call wholesale and retail. That one means wholesale and retail. You might be confused perhaps about what you mean by this, right? Wholesale. You know what is wholesale? Selling in bulk. Hello. You at the far end. Do you understand what we are saying here? Or are you just amusing yourself? Do you understand? Does it? It seems to me that you cannot see it properly. Can you? Are you struggling to see what is written on it? You're struggling. If you are struggling, you come and sit here. Come here. So you have government services, right? Wholesale, retail, transport. See your transport and logistics. Yeah, you can see that. You see your transport and logistics, 9.7%, right? Mining, you know mining. You can mine silver, you can mine gold, you can mine platinum in South Africa. You can even mine, where you even quarry, where you mining stones to build houses. You know about it. Stones. You mine it from the ground. You know gravel is from the ground. Yeah, I don't want to talk beyond the scope here. We are talking in terms of the major sectors to South African GDP, right? Then you have personal services, small business, agriculture, construction, electricity, stroke water, right? Principles of we talk about it. Business marketing is the decision and effort by business. When you read all these things, this thing will stick to your brain. It will reflect your mind in terms of what we have done. Right. Key principle, product, we know, right. Services delivered. Younger, this is kind of a product, computer. So now you got the characteristics of a project, of a product, I mean. I always talk of a project because I'm teaching level 3 and 4 project. Project is something that is ingrained. It's in my DNA. You know what is DNA? Project is in my DNA. I love it. Project management, right? Do you see? A product is something of this nature. It's tangible. You can see it, right? It can be seen, it can be felt, it can be heard, it can be tasted, it can be smelled, and it can be owned. And how can you own it? You will buy through an exchange. You pay for it, then they give it to you. You take it home. It's yours. Example of a product, right? You see, pay money, yeah, money, okay, don't worry. It's own, right? Look at it, it's a service. Ah, drinking coffee. You like drinking coffee? Me, I don't like taking coffee. You see, if you have majority of people that are like me, coffee business will not move. It's gonna be dead. Nobody will buy coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. I drink water, right? I drink hot water. You're gonna see, by the grace of God, during winter, you're gonna see me here with a kettle drinking hot water. Yeah. You see, it cannot be heard. Can you hold service? Say service. We are mine. I hold it. No, service, you can't hold it. Right? You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. That means it's intangible. Intangibility. Add it to your vocab as well. Tangibility and intangibility. Do you understand what I mean? Tangible product is tangible because you can see, you can hold it, you can feel it, you can taste it, you can smell it, you can own it. What is this? What is flashing like this? Your shoe. Where is that flash coming from? Huh? Something is flashing there. I don't know. What is that? This is shoes. This shoe. Oh, what is flashing there? Oh, from outside. Okay. Oh, all right. All right. Guys, listen. Intangibility, service, right? So it cannot be separated. Guys, you see, you must learn all these things, the characteristics of a service, right? And of a product. You must know how to distinguish the differences. You see, intangible, it cannot be separated from the person providing it. That means it's inseparable. I'm the one teaching you right now. I'm reading the service, right? Can you perhaps separate me from what I'm providing, the service I'm providing? You can. I must be there. We are together. You see, like unlike a product, I don't know where they made this thing. Maybe from China, from Ningbo. I don't even know the place. But the person that made the product don't even know who is using it or who eventually is the end user of the product. The person don't even know me, right? The person don't know me. But if it is a service, you know the service provider. If you are the end user, if you are perhaps the recipient, even if it's online teaching, you see the person that is teaching you, right? On the video, you can see that is inseparable. Does it make sense to you? You can't separate it. We depend, okay, we say this is called service inseparability. Hey, I love that language. Inseparability. How I wish you can speak like this. Then one day you're gonna be speaking like this, right? Using this bombastic, you call it bombastic, right? Bombastic language. Then it will depend on how professional the person is providing it. And this is called, okay, there's what we call service variability. I don't know who wrote this book, man. That's not nice language here. Service variability. That means changes in the service, right? He said it depends on whosoever that is delivering the service. For example, now, the way I teach you, right, might not exactly be the same level, right, of others, other lecturers that you are receiving lectures from. If you are to grade us, if you are to assess our level of the quality of teaching, you see. So we say it depends on whosoever that is delivering it. It varies. It can never be the same thing. Then I told you last time to avoid, to correct that, because if a service is varies, or if a service is subjected to variability, or is subject to variability, let me put it that way, it's not a good news, because sometimes it might be of low quality, right? It might be of low quality. So how do you, or rather, let me put it this way to be more clear to you. How do you correct that problem? You, there must be a standard to be followed, to be adhered to, minimum standard. We talk about that. And sometimes you can do training to bridge the gap. We talk about it. Remember, yeah, service variability. So it cannot be stored for later use. Perishability. You cannot store a service for later use. You say, now I've got much. Let me keep it for later use. Guys, you must know these words. Service, tangibility, inseparability, variability, as well as perishability. You know what we mean by the term perishable? something that can get spoiled that you cannot preserve for quite a long time, right? Such as tomatoes. 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 Can you put tomatoes in your fridge for how long? Gonna be there. It's gonna spoil. Even if you freeze it, or even if you are living in an Iceland, Iceland, where they got ice. Yeah, you cannot store it for so long, right? Yeah. So services like that, you can't store it. It has to be used up, right? Okay. You must know all these terms, eh? Very important. The principle of trade that define marketing. Did you see how the exchange goes? This is the product, right? Based on needs, wants, and demand. That is the money, right? Once the how does exchange take place, right? It must be equivalent in value. Once that value is maximized, yeah, you got it. Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks, I love it. Now, that is a good news. Your task has been sent, right? But anyhow, we can't go back today again. Like I said, tomorrow we start at fresh. That means tomorrow we're gonna work on your task. Huh? Yeah. My apologies for that. I've been looking for it. I did my best to obtain it, but due to some logistic reasons, or administrative bureaucracies, so I got delayed somehow, some way. You see how it works. We talk about the needs, right? Which that needs, I say you mustn't forget these three things. Needs, wants, demand, right? Needs, you know what is need, right? We all got our own needs to survive, right? There are some, they are looking for the basic need, like water, shelter, right? Clothing to wear, right? Remember, we did something of Maslow, right? When you are able to satisfy the lower level of needs, then you graduate yourself to the higher needs because people got different needs, right? Those needs are expressed in product, which is wants. Don't forget. Our needs are usually expressed in product or service, and that is what we refer to as want. You right? Want to satisfy your needs, right? We said once you've got the ability to pay, we can call that thing a demand now. That means once that can be converted into a transaction. You see, we talk about that. Then how does the transaction? There must be an exchange, right? This is the price, this is the needs, right? That to satisfy your needs. This is the product to satisfy your needs. Once you pay in money, that's an estate, then you get what you want, right? And mind you, the product there must be what we call, the product must be able to maintain that value. What are we trying to say now? Let me put it more clearly to you. The benefit, right? There must be benefit, accrued benefit to the product, right? That is more or less commensurate with the cost, how much it costs you to acquire the product. We say, in other words, that value is the difference between the benefit and the cost of acquiring the product, the cost to you. So when you look at how much it's going to cost you, you try to compare it with the benefits that you're going to derive from having the product. If the benefit is more than the cost, you say, yeah, it's a good deal. Let me buy. So, in other words, if the benefit is lower than the cost, then you say, no, I'm not going to buy this. It's not worth it. Right? We do this more often. Right? When you want to buy something, you try to weigh what am I going to benefit, unless that person is not a rational human being, unless you are somebody that is wasting money, wasting resources. If you are somebody that is prudent in spending money, before you buy something, you think, what am I going to benefit in buying this stuff? Right? That is what we are talking about. So when you discover that there's a benefit involved, is being maximized because you try to maximize the benefit in any of your transaction. Once you discover that you are getting maximum benefit from the product, then you put in the money. Then the exchange will take place. Give you money, give you the product, you give me the money. And the one that is selling the product as well must make sure that it's getting the value because you as a seller, you cannot sell a product less than how much it costs you to get that product. It's true because you must make profit. Doesn't make sense to you. The difference between these ones, say, look at it, needs, tasting, need to drink something, right? You sleeping. Hey man, maybe my class is boring. Is it boring? Okay. So where does the needs come from? You taste it, your throat is dry. Imagine if you are in a desert, desert. How many of you have been to the desert? Kalahari Desert, Namibian Desert, right? If you go to Uppington, far up there, it's very hot now. You're gonna be tasty. Your throat gonna be dry. Then you need something to drink, right? That's your needs, right? Based on your tastiness. Then you want your needs now will be expressed in Coca-Cola, which is the